while and do loops. While and do loops. So what about while and do loops? Consider a program that outputs or even numbers from 0 to 12. And one way to write this is as follows now. Console.log 0 semicolon, console.log 2 semicolon, and console.log 4 semicolon, and console.log 6 semicolon, and console.log 8 semicolon, and console.log 10 semicolon, and console.log 12. Okay, so that works, but the idea of writing a program is to make something less work, not more. And if we need it, or even numbers less than 1000, this approach would be unworkable really. And what we need is a way to run a piece of code multiple times. This form of control flow is called a loop. And looping control flow allows us to go back to some point in the program where we were before and repeat it. And with our current program state, if we combine this with a bounding that counts, and we can do something like this. Let number equal 0, semicolon, while number less than or equal 12. Let number equal 0, while number less than or equal 12. Console.log number, semicolon, then number equal number plus 2, then press semicolon. Okay, so the result here now will be 0 and 2. Okay, so a statement starting with the keyword while creates a loop, and the word while is followed by an expression in parentheses, and then a statement, much like if, and the loop keeps entering that statement as long as the expression produces a value that gives true when converted to Boolean. And the number bending demonstrates the way a bending can track the progress of a program. And every time, by the way, every time the loop repeats, number gets a value that is 2 more than its previous value, by the way. And at the beginning of every repetition is compared with the number 12 to decide whether the program's work is finished. And as an example that actually does something useful, and we can now write a program that calculates and shows the value of 2 and 2 to the 10 power, and we use 2 boundings, and want to keep track of our results, and want to count how often we have multiplied this result by 2, and the loop tests whether the second bounding has reached 10 yet, and if not, updates both boundings. Like this command now. Let result equal 1, semicolon. Let counter equal 0, semicolon. While counter less than 10. While counter less than 10. The result here now equal result multiply 2, then semicolon, then counter equal counter plus 1. And console.log result will be 1024. Okay, so the counter could also 1024, and the counter could also have started at 1 and checked for less than or equal 10, and but for reasons that will become apparent in chapter 4, and it's a good idea, by the way, to get used to counting from 0. And a do loop is a control structure similar to a while loop, and it differs only on one point, and a do loop always executes its body at least once, and it starts testing whether it should stop only after that first execution. And to reflect this, the test appears after the body of the loop. Like this command now. Let your name semicolon, and do, then open parentheses, and your name equal prompt, who are you, and while your name, console.log will be your name semicolon. This program, by the way, will force you to enter a name, and it will ask again and again until it gets something that is not an empty string, and applying the operator will convert a value to Boolean type before negating, and all strings except convert to true. And this means the loop continue going round until you provide a non-empty name.